Well, good morning, everybody. My name is Johnny Rodriguez. I'm with the Illinois Department of Revenue. Today on our call, we have Mr. Brent Stice. He's part of our selection team, Mr. Jason Poling and Mr. Roger Koss. They're from our revenue auditor team, and Ms. Julie Love, also part of our recruiting team. In today's session, we will be talking about the benefits of career in state government, specifically with Illinois Department of Revenue's Revenue Tax Specialist trainee position that we currently have posted on our work.illinois.gov website. Quick disclaimer, this PowerPoint presentation will be providing you guidelines and suggestions on how to improve your uh, application process, learn a little bit more about our agency, additional to that on the benefits of working for state government. This is only our opinions, and we are just providing this information so you're not able to utilize this against us in case you guys feel we provided wrong information. If you have any questions, please do email us. Thank you. So, mission with Illinois Department of Revenue, we administer different tax, um, different taxes throughout the state of Illinois since 1927. At this time, we've collected a little bit over 80 different taxes. Director Harris has overseen a little bit over $240 million, and we collected about $67 billion last year. This comes through different taxes coming from business, personal, sales, the newest one, cannabis, and such others. Um, we are closely ensure that all tax revenues are efficiently collected and we properly deposit into correct funds in state treasury. And we coordinate with the controller's office to ensure that tax refunds and state payments are made in a very good, timely manner. We are a very stable agency. We administer, as I said, over 80 different taxes. We have about 1,400 employees throughout the state of Illinois, with more than $13 million in tax returns per year, and about $60 billion annually that we process through our offices. The photo on the slide, this is our main building down in Springfield, the Willow Ice building. If you ever drive by on Jefferson Street, that's our main building. There we have our high majority of employees, a little bit over 1,100 employees at that location. Although taxes can be complicated and sometimes hard to understand, every day we have highly skilled professional staff helping citizens of the state of Illinois with any tax questions. For that reason, it's very important that our employees reflect the diversity and individualism of the state of Illinois. So we strive to hire individuals who reflect individual taxes here in the great state. Our goal is to carry our recruitment team of partnership with our diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility team. We work to hire inclusive, high qualified, and diverse workforce that will provide superior services to all taxpayers here in the state of Illinois. We do have 6 different offices throughout the state of Illinois. Our main office, as I said, is down in Springfield. In the northern region, we have display in Chicago and Rockford. In the south region, we have Fairview and Marion, Illinois. Positions are posted throughout 6 locations. You just have to go on the website and see where the positions are posted. Currently, for our revenue tax specialist trainee position, it's posted for the Springfield location. So working for the state of Illinois comes with some great perks. Some of these are we work 37 and a half hours per week. This is Monday through Friday. Uh, Depending on some schedule, you might have to work on a weekend. It's not so often, but most likely Monday through Friday is the time work. You get to earn up to 25 days per year of vacation, but this depending on how many years you have for the state. Starting as a new employee, you'll be able to earn up to 10 paid vacation days your first year, and it'll gradually grow to 25 days, which will be your peak. We do have 13 paid holidays throughout the year. Um, some years when we have election, we'll have 14 paid holidays. Some holidays that we have that the federal government doesn't have are Lincoln's birthday and Black Friday. Those are 2 holidays that usually don't get paid in the private sector or in the federal sector. We do have rollover vacation and sick time, so if you don't use it, you're able to roll over. Um, we do have flexible work schedules depending on department needs. There is remote work available. Once again, it's all depending on department need. Some departments are not able to work from home due to the sensitive items that have to review, or they have to be in the office. During COVID, a lot of our employees had to be in the office, so we didn't have people working remote. Because we have access to very sensitive information of all our taxpayers through the state of Illinois, we have to make sure that that information is secure, and at that time, some positions had to be in the office. We do have the ability to have parental leave. That is a new benefit. You get 10-week paid leave, which is roughly 50 business days. So if there's a vacation, if there is a paid holiday during those 50 days, that is not included. So it's 50 business days. I utilized this when I had my child about 2 years ago. It's great way of bonding, specifically if you're a father. Usually maternity leave is the only people get. Paternity leave is actually pretty great. You're able to help out in the house and such like this. There's some benefits you are able to receive with the state. There's no waiting period for health, vision, dental insurance. We do have life insurance as one times of your pay. You're able to buy additional depending on what your pay is. It could go up to 8 times. We do have medical care assistance program, health savings account, dependable care assistance program. We do have a flexible spending account and commuter savings program. The commuter savings program is dependent on where you're stationed. So at the Chicago office, if you utilize, let's say, the Metro to come into the office, you're able to use this commuter savings program and reduce um, your commuter payments directly from your paycheck. The Be Well program is a statewide program where we encourage all of our employees to increase their health, either by having smoking cessation programs, um, weight loss, and such others. There's some additional voluntary benefits that you're able to also enroll. We have the accident insurance coverage, critical illness coverage, hospital indemnity coverage, legal ease, identity theft protection, pet insurance, auto and home insurance, purchasing power adoption benefits, and weight loss benefit. I've utilized the pet insurance and auto home insurance. It's actually pretty cool being able to just have those deducted directly from your paycheck, and you have the protection. You don't even know to pay it on a monthly basis. It's just depending on how you like to budget yourself. But for me, it was a little bit easier just being able to automatically be deducted from my payroll. So these are all voluntary. You're able to have those deducted directly from your paycheck. If you don't have to get into those. We are a public service loan forgiveness program provider. So in case you do have any public loans or grants that you have to pay back to the government after working with the state for 10 years or making 10 years of qualified payments, you are able to apply for this program for loan forgiveness. Here with the Illinois Department of Revenue, we are one of the state agencies that do carry tuition reimbursement. At this time, we have $5,000 of tuition reimbursement for any state-funded school. Non-state funded school, we're able to do 80% of those 5,000. We do have a great retirement program. Our retirement program includes a pension system. The pension, it is vested after 10 years of working for the state of Illinois. We do have deferred compensation options. So let's say you do want to invest in your retirement outside of our pension system. You could do a 457 plan. It's closely to of a 401k, but this is for private entities. And let's say you do have children and you want to go through the 29 college savings plan, you're able to do that also with your pay rate. So with Illinois Department of Revenue, we do have career potential. You could start off as an entry level position and grow through our different ranks and kind of get into a higher level position, more management, just depending on how you want to grow within your career. We do have a learning and development division where people are able to learn different certificate programs or able to learn different things that come up to date. So as you see, Microsoft and all the different applications, they do updates every 5 years. And there's new things that happen. You're able to go into the learning and development division and actually learn how to increase your uh, Excel spreadsheet ability, your Word ability, also to increase your ability to do public presentations. Let's say you want to do grant writing. Our learning development team has a lot of great programs you're able to sign up being a state employee. CMS University, that is for all state employees. who are from other agencies are able to sign up for different opportunities. I know with Department of Human Services, sometimes they have career counselor or social work maintenance programs and stuff like that. So you're able to actually enroll into those programs and learn about different agencies. And perhaps, let's say, if you want to move from one agency to another, it's a great way to learn what they're doing and see if that's something you want to do. For those who are a state employee, after 6 months, you're an official state employee, and then you're able to sign up for upward mobility. Upward mobility is we have 21 targeted titles throughout the state of Illinois. Here in Illinois Department of Revenue, we have three targeted titles. One is our Revenue Tax Specialist Trainee, the Revenue Auditor Trainee, and the Collection Officer Trainee. If you do enroll to the Upward Mobility Program, and let's say you don't have a degree, they will be able to assist you to return to school, and yeah, return to school, enroll it with all the classes needed as minimum qualification for that position, and then complete your degree and be able to apply for these positions directly as a state employee. So you'll still be working, but you'll be able to work yourself to get into those targeted positions. There is a free college program for those who are in the union. They're associated with two colleges. These are remote opportunities where you're able to go online and apply, either take classes in communications, take classes in accounting, take classes in, let's say, if you want to go into the sciences, you're able to take some classes through that free college program. It's free to yourself, your spouse, and your children, but you do have to be a paying union member for these. Now, some of our positions have a language school option. So if you look at our position and it says it has an options as SS, FS, PS. These means that you either have a French speaking, Spanish speaking, Polish speaking, Arabic speaking. So you have to see if it has that language option. If it does have that language option, you have a base pay. So from that base pay, so you get an additional 5%. So if it does have that language option and you do meet those requirements, you're able to receive those language options percentage. Like I said, it's a 5% additional to your base pay. So in Department of Revenue, we have 6 different program areas. We have taxpayer services. They deal directly with our customers that come into our offices. Account processing and collections. These are dealing directly with customers either via phone or in person. Our audit team, our legal services, and criminal investigation. Today we will be talking directly with the audit team because this revenue tax specialist trainee position is for the audit team. So you'll be able to learn a little bit more about them. In audit, they have audit planning, technical support, discovery, and audit review. And typically, the field auditors consist of working taxpayers to ensure various state and Illinois tax obligations are being met. They achieve these by reviewing taxpayer books and records, such as income sales tax returns, their financial statements, sales records, their purchasing records, and other taxpayer documents. These reviews are completed either at our taxpayer locations or our taxpayer representative will go to their location or electronically. They engage directly with all taxpayers and they review their books and their records. Um, Additional to that, they are the ones that are able to devote their time to research and make sure that all information that is provided is within the statutes of the state of Illinois and within all the regulations are in order with our audit team and determined to provide guidance to all taxpayers and fulfill their responsibilities. So I will move forward. As I said, today this presentation is for the Revenue Tax Specialist Trainee position. With this position, you will receive classroom and extensive on-the-job training for a period of 12 months. You learn about tax laws, rules, regulations, policy, procedures, and research methods. You will be assisting out-of-state taxpayers and those in the state, and you want to make sure that you're going to verify their deductions and you're going to validate their deductions taken from their taxes. For this position, the salary range is anywhere between $42,948 to $59,148. This position requires a bachelor's. It does not matter if it's a bachelor's in accounting and business, as long as you have a bachelor's, that is the minimum qualification for this position. This position does have a union title with semi-automatic promotions. So as long as you start off as a revenue tax specialist trainee, As long as you pass all your classroom and your on-the-job training guidelines and you meet all the minimum guidelines, you have an automatic promotion to a revenue tax specialist one at the end of those 12 months. From there, you're able to go from revenue tax specialist uh, one to revenue tax specialist two. Those are automatic promotions. There is an option to get into revenue tax specialist three, but you will have to interview for that position.
Johnny, I'm
So,
you there, and why don't we flip over to Jason, and because we're getting a lot of specific questions about the job in the Q&A.
okay.
So let's just pause here for a moment, and we're going to turn things over to Roger Koss, who is the director of the audit area, and Jason Pulling, who's the supervisor for these titles. And these gentlemen have a little bit more information, can go into a little bit more depth about the area and the position, and hopefully that will answer many of the questions that we have going in the chat right now. So Roger and Jason, I will turn it over to both of you.
Good morning, and thank you very much, Julie. My name is Roger Koss. I am the program administrator for the audit area, and I've been with the Illinois Department of Revenue for approximately 40 years. The audit program area is one of the largest areas in the Department of Revenue. We currently have approximately 400 employees, and the employees range from supervisors to auditors to revenue tax specialists to clerical support section, office associates, office coordinators. But specifically today, we are talking about a posting of 26 positions, revenue tax specialist trainees. 25 of those positions are just regular revenue tax specialist trainees. One is a Spanish speaking revenue tax specialist trainee position. These positions are all located in the Springfield area at the Willard Ice Building in the Federal State Exchange Unit, and it does include training. And so now I am going to turn it over to Mr. Jason Poling. Mr. Poling is the supervisor for the Federal State Exchange Unit, and he will give you many details about this position, as well as the benefits and why you want to work for the audit area within the Illinois Department of Revenue. So, Jason Poling, I will now turn it over to you.
Thank you, Roger. Well, I'll tell you what, on the spot here, I want to say that the Audit Bureau, the reason why you want to come work for the Audit Bureau is it's one of the best places to work that I've ever been. I actually started off as a revenue tax specialist trainee myself, went up through the auditor positions, and then became a supervisor of the Federal State Exchange Unit. Here we compare federal returns to Illinois returns to identify errors, non-filers under reporting. I have a staff of 19 right now to give you guys an example of the amount of work we do. As of the end of business today, we will have completed over 100,000 cases in this fiscal year. Fiscal year ends June 30th. I see a lot of questions out here. The positions are in the Springfield area. I currently do have remote staff, but nobody can promise that. This hiring represents an expansion of this unit. I'm lost it. Accommodations for training in Springfield. Julie, guys, help me out here. I work better when I'm feeding off somebody.
Don't worry about the questions, Jason. We can circle back around when you're done kind of giving an overview of the area and really give them an idea of what they're going to be doing on a day-to-day.
Day-to-day basis, we do two things in this unit. We answer calls based on letters that we've sent out, and we work cases. You do work with returns, you work with taxpayers. On a day-to-day basis, it depends on the day. You might have a lot of phone calls in a given day. You might have a lot of casework in a given day. I don't know how to explain exactly what we do without going into a lot of detail, but basically here in FSCU, we do everything. RTSs around the department often have jobs where they're just doing adjustments to returns, they're just answering phone calls, or they're just processing items. Here, we do all of that. And we do it pretty dang well. I mean, I have the privilege of working with some of the best people in the world in this room, and because of them, we are doubling our staff. We've set records, including winning a national award for our EIC program, where we, contrary to popular opinion, gave money back to taxpayers. So there's a large gamut of stuff that you're going to do in this job. I can guarantee you one thing, that if you do come to work here, in a very short period of time, you will know more than you ever wanted to know about taxation. You will become an expert in it. I have people from all walks of life. I know people are asking what kind of degrees were necessary. I have people with philosophy degrees. I have people that have math degrees that have come from being teachers to work here. It doesn't matter what degree you have. All that matters is your desire to work. Anything else, Julie?
I think that's great. Thank
I,
you.
I would like to add a couple things. Just as a high overview to this, basically everybody is well aware that they have to file individual income tax returns. There are some individuals that file their federal income tax return, but they do not file an Illinois income tax return and they show an Illinois address. Basically, we will receive information from the federal government concerning anybody that had filed a federal tax return with an Illinois address. We will then run that against our filings in the state of Illinois. And if they have not filed an Illinois income tax return, it is most likely that they would receive a letter from the federal state exchange unit. And obviously, then there would have to be some communication between that individual and an RTS in the federal state exchange unit explaining why they did not file, or maybe their income is not subject to tax. For example, if you are a retired individual in the state of Illinois, you do not have to pay tax on your retirement in the state of Illinois, but you do for the federal government. So there may be reasons. So many times, the Illinois Department of Revenue Federal State Exchange Unit sends out, 3 to 5 to 7,000 letters to taxpayers in a week. Obviously, once these are received, these taxpayers will they will either call in to to a number that will go to the federal state exchange unit. They may email the federal state exchange unit, and then basically, if we have a case on that individual, the RTSs will work with that individual and explain why they got the letter, what their responsibility is, and that is one portion of their job. And so you will not be traveling to taxpayers' locations. Basically, the work that you will do will be in the Willard Ice Building for a period of time. And then there's a possibility that you could do the same job remotely. However, you do have to have the ability to come in to the office as needed. Like Jason stated, some days you may spend many hours on the phone. Other days you may not spend much time on the phone, but you will be analyzing information that has been received from the federal government in preparation of sending out letters. Obviously, there's a lot of cooperation with the RTSs within the federal state exchange unit. And it is an extremely interesting position. It is extremely productive, and that is why we are going from a current staff of 19, which at one time was roughly 25, and we've had some people that have either retired or they've moved to different jobs within the agency. But now we would like to double that staff to get us to approximately 50 people due to the productivity that is brought forth by the Federal State Exchange Unit. So if you're able to sell, your ability, 90% of this job is salesmanship. You got to have critical thinking skills. You have to be able to communicate. You'll have to be able to keep calm. You'll be able to have to explain information to taxpayers. You will have to analyze information. You'll have to learn the various laws that are administered by the Illinois Department of Revenue. That's what this job does. It's not a difficult job. It is a rewarding job, and it is a challenging job in some aspects. So that's to put it all in a nutshell. That's all I have in addition to what Mr. Poling stated.
Thank you, Roger. I think you picked up my slack there. I did want to note for everybody that this is a very good place to jump off into a career, especially at Department of Revenue. I have had at least, I think, 7 people move from the Revenue Tax Specialist series into the Auditor series, including one person who's actually Assistant Division Manager for the Audit Bureau. So there's a lot that goes on here. There's a lot you learn about how to work with taxes. It's a very good place to come and get your feet on the ground at revenue.
Thank you,
And,
Jason.
and we have approximately a 6 to 8 week training program where you will learn how to use the integrated tax system. You will work with other revenue tax specialists. You will receive classroom instruction because obviously our employees are our most valuable assets. From the fact that you know the individuals are the ones that bring the productivity into the state of Illinois so that money can be used to build roads and things like that. So we take a lot of effort to make sure that our people are properly trained, and we want to make sure that we are successful because we do not want to train individuals and not have them being successful. I'll turn it back over to you now, Julie.
Thank you. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. A couple points. Some questions in the chat said they couldn't hear, so I do apologize. I did turn on the closed captioning, so hopefully you can follow along with that. So a couple of general things just to cover. A lot of questions about the location of the positions and the training period. Again, remote work. So let's cover as many as we can for folks. The positions that we have open right now, the 26 that Roger and Jason are discussing on this call are in Sangamon County. Now, we would highly love for you to come to Sangamon County. We understand that if you are in the Chicago area and cannot relocate at this time, we do have positions open in Cook County. We just don't right now at this time. The training period is in person. Some of the positions at Revenue can be remote, but you have to be in the building to get the training first before that can be determined, and it is on a unit case-by-case basis. You do have to have, you have to be qualified to work in the United States for these positions. Let's see. We are not here to give tax information. I'm sorry. This is strictly about employment and recruiting. So if you have some specific tax related questions, then you need to reach out to our call center and they can help you with that. I do want to make everyone aware the call is being recorded. So if you need to jump off or you missed something, you can go back and listen. It is on our webpage, which is tax.illinois.gov. We do have other calls. We do these calls on a monthly basis and try to cover different topics. If you have something that you're interested in hearing about, please put that in the chat, and we, as well as a date or a time. Johnny and I mix them up so that we can try to cover as many or invite and get as many people as we can on the calls. But if there's a particular day or time that works best for you, stick it in the chat and we'll see if we can get the majority of folks and then schedule one for an upcoming month. Our June call is already scheduled. It is June the 15th. from 2 until 3. And we're going to talk about resume writing and interviewing with the state of Illinois and IDOR. So there'll be some tips and tricks on there. I would encourage you to register for that. We also have question and answer on our webpage. So if you have questions that we didn't get to this morning, then you can go out to that Q&A sheet and look and see if it's there. If it's not, you can send an email to us at rev.idorcareers@illinois.com or .gov. We will put that in the chat so that you can follow up. We see what else. I know I just covered a lot, so let's look and see what types of questions that you
So
have.
I see some people that have asked, do they have to, are they able to apply? They live here in Chicago. Yes, you're able to apply. We give you 6 months to move to Springfield, so you're able to apply now, and whenever the position starts, you have 6 months to move to Springfield. So you are able to apply even if you live in the Chicagoland area. The revenue tax specialist trainee position is posted throughout the year, so make sure you sign up to receive text message alerts. Because let's say you might not be interested in this one, and then another position becomes available later on, you're able to sign up to receive those whenever that becomes available.
These positions, I just want to reiterate, these positions are all in Springfield, Sangamon County. You would be required to be here in the Willard Ice Building. So if you do reside in Chicago at the current time, you would have to be down here Monday through Friday. Your expenses would not be paid. Since this is an in-house position, you'd be responsible to be here, and you would have to find your own accommodations. There are RTS positions that are posted in other locations such as Chicago, but these 26 are specifically located in Sangamon County.
And that's what I was trying to say. We will have some RTS positions coming up in Cook County. I don't have a date for that, but we are talking about Springfield today.
And the anticipated start date is approximately September 1st. The jobs are currently posted. Obviously there will be the interviewing process. We'll have to go through all the interviewing process, the selecting, the recruitment, and then you would receive a letter, and the anticipated start date is September 1st.
Thank you, Roger. Looking at some of the questions, I think a couple of key takeaways from today's call. If you are interested in the position, you need to apply when there's an active posting. So you need to make sure you check the deadline on the job postings for the closing date. Your application has to be in by that closing date and time, if there is a time out there. Let's see. Nubia asked if we have to apply for a permanent position after the 8-week training. No, you do not. If you are hired in as the RTS and you go through the training period and you are successful with no performance issue, it's what we call a semi-automatic promotion. So you would automatically be promoted into the RTS 1 title. Let's see. Is housing available Monday through Friday for the training period? I think Roger talked about that. I do want to hit on housing in Springfield is very affordable. Again, if you're interested in relocating down here, it is a great place to live. And I've tried increasing my volume on my mic, and I'm sorry, I've been ill and my voice might be just a little bit crackly. So the information for the June class is on our webpage. So, and I would encourage you to follow us on social media, particularly LinkedIn or Facebook, because we post all of our jobs on there, as well as these events and other events that we go to. So encourage you to follow us on those 2 social medias. And a lot of questions on other jobs being open. We don't know when the date is for those openings. The best thing for you to do is sign up for what we call job alerts. We promise we will not send you tax information. It is strictly about jobs. So when jobs are posted, you would get a text or an email to let you know about that.
And then you don't need any experience for this position. You're coming in as a trainee, so we're going to be training you. It's in-class training and on-the-job training, so you don't need any experience as long as you do have a bachelor's. That's the minimum qualification at this time.
And Stephanie, unfortunately, no, you cannot test out of the title for the RTS. You do have to go through the entire training process. So there's no possibility to test out of that. Vic, I'm sorry you need a remote job. Please check our job boards. There are some positions that can be remote. It just depends on the job and the unit. Question about performance during training and how likely we are to grow with Illinois. I think Jason Poling is a great example. I would say probably 2/3 of our supervisors, senior leaders, managers, supervisors started out in training titles and just like this one and have been promoted up until now they are the supervisors in these areas. So that is one advantage that revenue has over maybe some of the other state agencies because of the nature of our work. uh, you once we train you and you get that foundational knowledge, then you are a prime candidate to be promoted up into other higher level positions. So that's one of the greatest things about revenue is our promote from within and the growth and opportunities to expand your career with us.
To
Training.
to continue on with Julie's comment there, back in 1983, I started as a revenue auditor trainee. I then served as a revenue auditor for 16 years. Then I served as a revenue audit supervisor for 7 years. I served as a division manager for approximately 13 years, and I've been in my current position of the head of audit for approximately 4 years. So, as you know, as an example, I started as a trainee and now I'm the head of audit. So yes, there is opportunities. There is an opportunity to start out as an RTS and move into the revenue auditor trainee series. Um, if you are start as an RTS after 5 years, if you have a bachelor's degree and have 15 hours of accounting, 4 classes of progressive accounting plus one class in either tax or auditing, you can move into the revenue auditor trainee series, which is obviously has a higher pay scale than the RTS trainees. This is one thing that we felt was very important, that we wanted to give individuals that start out as an RTS another career path besides being an RTS. And so we have opened it up to the revenue auditor trainee series as long as you meet the qualifications that I discussed. 5 years experience as an RTS and have at least 15 hours of accounting, no matter what your bachelor's degree is in. So we are understanding the importance of the knowledge that you gather as an RTS, and we feel it is a great opportunity to move right into the revenue auditor trainee series as long as you take a few accounting classes over the course of your 5 years.
Thank you, Roger. And Michael Benetti, thank you for that plug for Springfield. It is a great place to live. Roger and Jason, are you doing interviews for these positions or do applicants simply need to apply?
That I do not know the answer to. Yeah, I haven't had that question. That's
I know that we have waived the interview process for the revenue auditor trainee series that we have currently posted, but I have not had any discussions with HR concerning the interview, if we're going to waive the interview process for the RTS positions.
I believe you're waiving the interview process for this series.
So
It's going
that's
to be based on your application scores.
And that's excellent news. So for those of you on the call, for the RTS title, again, located in Springfield, start date is 9/1. You do not have an interview for that. You just simply apply. And if you meet the minimum qualifications, then you would be contacted about the next steps in the hiring process. Looking for questions through on here. Another plug is for CMS. They do have a career counseling unit over there. We put the email address in the chat. You can reach out to them via email, and they will look at your resume and help you go through the process of transferring your college credit hours from an outside U.S. university to what that would be the equivalent of here in the United States. Highly recommend that you reach out to them. They can give you advice on positions, not necessarily at IDOR, at any state agency. Every state agency at the state of Illinois is hiring right now, so it is a great time to get on board with the state of Illinois.
Of course, we are the best agency to work for, and my unit in particular is the best one to work for within the agency. Just a little plug there.
Yes, Jason, I agree. I have worked at other state agencies, and I can tell you that revenue, hands down, we are held to stricter requirements and guidelines and policies and procedures due to the nature of our job. We deal with very confidential information. You as taxpayers want to be rest assured, while you may not like paying taxes, you want to know that when you submit them that they are processed accurately. And if you are in a position where you need help, you want to know that when you call the Department of Revenue, you're going to get a qualified employee that will help you and walk you through your questions and give you the support that you need. And we take great pride in knowing that our employees are qualified and capable of helping our taxpayers. So we do have positions post all of the time, everyone. The best thing to do is sign up for the job alert, because that way when the jobs post, you know, the RTS title may not be for you. You may not have a college degree. We do have positions that do not require a college degree, but you just have to look at the job postings. So if you sign up for job alert, then it will give you a email or a text message letting you know when jobs are posted. So I would highly encourage you to do that. You can go to our webpage. It takes about less than 30 seconds to sign up. And again, we will not send you tax information.
There is one question in the chat that has caught my attention. It says, how would you think about this role for a mid-career professional looking to make a transition? I think that as long as you have a bachelor's degree, and I think this would be an excellent position for a mid-career professional trainee, from the fact that, currently, if you are successful during the training program, it is a very stable job. There's two things that are sure in life, and I'm not making light of this, but death and taxes. We are going to continue to, place taxes upon people. And as a revenue tax specialist, I think this is an excellent opportunity for somebody that would like to make a career change. And this is again, it was a trainee position. We will train you. You do not have to have any tax knowledge. You do not have to have any tax experience. We will train you to do this position. So I think this is an excellent job for somebody that wants to make a mid-career change in their life.
And I glom onto that, absolutely. We have plenty of employees who have made a career change and come into this job. Some of the best people I have are ones that have held other jobs and come in. I really just want to, encourage all of you to apply. I mean, it's hard for me. I'm kind of off the rails today, but these positions that are posted are for my unit. And I believe in what we do here. We perform a vital role. I often tell my staff that we work for cops, firefighters, and kids, because the money we bring in goes to those people. Cops get bulletproof vests, firefighters get equipment, and kids get meals. We have fun here, but we do work hard. I I just want to encourage you to come. It's a wonderful opportunity, especially since this unit is expanding. So you're getting in on the ground floor of new capabilities for the unit. So if you like a challenge, you want to fill a role in society where you do something for society, this is a great place. People that work here are just wonderful. Like I said earlier, I have some of the best people in the world working for me. And to be quite clear, I don't close any cases. They close cases. The reason why these positions have come up is because the people that work for me have made them possible.
And just to follow up on another question that is in the chat, does the job training start in September or does the job start in September? The job starts in September and the training is part of the job. So if you apply for the position and you're successful in getting it, you have a 12-month training process, but you are a permanent employee. And as long as you are successful after those 12 months, you would be promoted to a revenue tax specialist 1. So there is not training to see if you qualify for the position and then you get the job. The training is part of the job.
Thank you for clarifying that, Roger. And these are full-time positions with full state benefits that Johnny addressed in the beginning of the webinar today. So again, our webpage put in the chat is taxillinois.gov. And you can go out there and get the link to apply for these positions. Looking at the chat to see if there are additional questions, anything that we did miss. Adrian,
There's another question in here that I think is very valid also. It says, I am in my final courses for my bachelor's degree. We'll have it in June. May I still apply? Absolutely. As long as you are going to be receiving your bachelor's degree, I think it's within 4 months of when the job is posted, you can apply. You will have to bring a final transcript when you are, not interviewed, but when you apply for the job, you will have to provide final transcripts.
yes, and again, we keep these sessions pretty generic. We realize that we have several hundred people on the call, so I know we can't get to every single specific question. If you do have a specific question about your individual case, I encourage you to reach out to the email address rev.idorcareers@illinois.gov. We can help you answer those very specific questions. We do try to take this time to keep it kind of general for everybody on the call. So I am sorry if we missed your call or missed your question. And we can follow up with you. So anything else? We're almost at the top of the hour, gentlemen. Anything else that you can think of?
There are a lot of questions related to the training. Do you get a raise after training? Well, you are a full-time employee, so you do get normal raises as you go from position to position. Is there training each month? Yes. We actually have training every 2 weeks within this unit. Additionally, we have internal publications. A lot of stuff changes from year to year in taxation, so you're constantly learning. Our basic training is going to be about 6 weeks. After that, you will learn on the job. And that's about all, I think. I mean, I would really like some of you to come work for me, okay? I mean, I am not the best speaker on these things, but I have been awarded the title of World's Oddest Supervisor by my staff. We have a lot of fun. We're a big family, and we get the job done. The people I work with have done things that I would not expect other people to do. Survived an amnesty, sent out 40,000 letters in 1 week. just a lot of work, but a lot of fun. So
We do have a question in the chat. Ozia, I hope I pronounced that right, and if I didn't, I'm so sorry. If you don't have any experience working with taxes, that's okay. These positions you don't have to have experience working with taxes. You want to make sure that you list all of the experience that you do have, because understand some of the experience you do have may be transferable skills. So think about things like critical thinking skills, communication skills, customer service, judgment. Those are all transferable skills that will help you in these titles. So you do not have to have zero tax experience for this title. Many of our jobs you don't have to have any experience with taxes when you apply. So that's the great thing about the trainee titles. No experience necessary. Johnny's been doing some research up in the Chicago area for recent college graduates looking for jobs, and the majority of the firms in the Chicagoland area, they require anywhere from 2 to 3 years, some of them 5 to 7 years experience in order to get the job. We require no experience. So revenue is a great place for you to get your foot in the door at the state, get some great experience, learn about taxes, provide a wonderful benefit to our taxpayers, and work with a great team, Jason and his team here at Revenue. So I hope that answered your question.
And those who are looking for the website, so when you go to tax.illinois.gov, where it says about IDOR, you look to the bottom where it says employment opportunities. That will take us to our employment page for Illinois Department of Revenue. Here you're able to create an account, look at all current job postings, sign up for your job alerts, look at some of the questions from previous events. Also look at those videos. So here where it says events, our monthly virtual statewide recruiting events, it has all of our previous videos on there. But if you're looking to look at our job postings and sign up for job alerts, when you sign up for the job alerts, if you're not looking to relocate, you're able to sign up for this, and whenever a position becomes available in the region or area that you're at, they'll be able to email you and let you know a opportunity is available now. But for those who are ready to apply now, you'll go to job posting, and it'll take us directly to our job postings. And for this position that we're talking about, the revenue tax specialist trainee position, is this one here and this one here. So we have two. One have an option with Spanish speaking and one that does not. So if you do have Spanish speaking, you're able to apply to both. Usually if you don't apply to one, and let's say you are one of the top candidates from one position, we're not able to transfer your application to the other posting. So if you'd like to apply, please apply to both of them. So let's open the posting. And keep in mind that this posting will be active till May 18 at 11:59 p.m. So if you don't apply for this position by May 18, you will not be able to apply for this position. So please make sure you apply by May 18. For this application process, you do need to make a profile. So you scroll down when it says apply, it will make you set up a profile where you upload your resume and you upload you answer questions for the application. So you do have to make a profile for this website.
Like we have covered the majority of the questions. Yes, Kalpana, you do need to apply for the trainee position. Someone asked about how long it takes. The closing date for this is, Johnny, go back up. I'm sorry, I was looking at the Q&A.
It's May 18. May 18.
So
Yep.
that's next week. Next Thursday, you have to apply and get your application submitted by then. And then it takes a couple of weeks for CMS to do their part, and then it comes back to us. So, I mean, realistically, it could be a month, 6 weeks, 8 weeks before you hear something. Brent, if there's any faster or any other answer to that, please chime in. But that is probably the area that because we have so many people apply, and each of the applications have to be reviewed individually. So it does take a little bit.
I see a lot of people talking about transfers. That's really not a thing with the state. So apply where you want to live and work. I mean, if you wanted to move back to Cook County when it posted, you'd have to reapply and get hired for that position. So we don't really transfer people, correct, Roger?
Correct.
And Nathan,
So if you don't want to live in Springfield, then wait for the Cook County to come, or the Marion.
I mean, you have the ability that once you are certified as an RTS1, if there are RTS positions in the Chicagoland area,
Yep.
you can request a transfer there, but you'd have to wait until you were certified. But we will not move people from this area to the Chicagoland area to work in FSEU from the fact that those positions are in Sangamon County.
Nathan asked a great question about, is it acceptable to upload a resume, or is there a tool on the website that you have to use to remake your resume for it to be accepted? The easiest thing for you to do is put your resume in a Word format. Use Word. Don't make it fancy. Don't put any special symbols, characteristics, visuals, artwork. Just keep it as basic as you can so that when you attach it, usually that information from your resume will parse into the application success factors ATS system, but you do want to review that. I cannot encourage that enough because sometimes it does miss some things. So you want to go, once you've uploaded the resume, you want to go back in and see how that has filtered in under your profile. Make sure all of your information is there. I encourage people to have a master Word doc of your resume, and you need to be very, very specific. All the details. You don't want a 2-page resume here. You want all the job details. Because when you apply for different jobs with the state, you can cut and paste from that master Word doc into the electronic application system, and it just goes faster. So that's
I think there's also one additional question here in the chat that I want to answer. Certification comes after how many months of training? First of all, as a revenue tax specialist trainee, it is a 12-month trainee period. So for the first 12 months, you are a trainee. If you are successful after those 12 months and you get promoted to an RTS1, 4 months after you are promoted, you will become certified. But the first 12 months is a trainee period, and you're not certified at that time.
okay. Well, we are just 2 minutes away. So again, I want to thank everyone for joining us this morning. You had some great questions out there. Again, go back to our website and you can find the recording from today and listen if there's anything you missed. Our contact information is on our webpage, so you can reach out to Johnny and I with some specific questions. And if we can't answer them, we can get Mr. Koss, Mr. Poling, Mr. Stice to get your questions answered. Thank you for your time this morning. We greatly appreciate it, and stay tuned for upcoming webinars. Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you, Julie. Johnny.
Thank you, everybody. I will be emailing everybody who attended our event today. You'll have our contact information too. So once again, thank you for attending.
And I look forward to working with some of you.
Thank you all. Have a great day.